Today, na the 11th day of February 2021. We want to lay na table something where we wake to this morning. We take over the internet. A young man by the name of Gavin Cole lost his job na United Union Trust Bank UTB, and the termination letter may become public. But after 1 and 2, other things then will become public, which should say this young man be get small back and forth with the First Lady of Sierra Leone, Fatima Bio. And maybe I make a losing job, or maybe not. Well, relax. Not gonna say you, because another one day we want to come look inside today. But as always, make we check the status update for COVID-19 na salon for today. NACOVAX say the labs them analyze 586 tests them. Out of this 586 tests, 10 turn out for be positive. Not forget to yesterday, na been 2 positive we get, but today na 10. And the 10, 8 na from western area rural, 1 na from western area, 8 na from western area urban, 1 na from western area rural, and the other one na from Tonkolili. Because of the 10 new confirmed cases that we'll get today, the cumulative confirmed positive case now in Salone don't reach 3,813. For the past 24 hours, nobody not lost in life to COVID-19. So we still stand at 79. The one them way they in isolation now 1,215. For the past 24 hours, 11 people don't beat COVID-19 in Salone. So we don't get a total number of 2,519 people we don't recover from COVID-19 in Salone. The one them way in quarantine now 452. The one them on discharge from quarantine now 13,982. Let me check quick now the Mano River Union countries them. For today, as I'm being told we just now, Sierra Leone na 10. Guinea, I hope so another copy from Liberia. For the second day, Guinea gets 0, Liberia back gets 0. But the patron, not a joke. Ivory Coast 273. So with Ivory Coast 273 and Sierra Leone 10, a total number of 283 people now they test positive for coronavirus na the Mano River Union countries them. Cumulative death: Salone 79, Guinea 84, Liberia 84, Ivory Coast 169. Ivory Coast don't lost 4 people inside the past 24 hours. Yesterday na be 165, today na 169. Whether they don't get a total number of 416 people who lost their life to COVID-19 na the Mano River Union countries them. We pray say, may the soul of them all rest in peace and make their memories live on. Not forget say, COVID-19 still there. Still there is still there. Just in case you won't forget. Okay? Do it in you get for do. For stay alive. If you know one for do one for yourself, do one for the next person where you feel say you so like and cherish. Now to program proper. We ask the question. For say wait ba, Union Trust Bank, the fire with them fire Gavin Cole. For say na the small chamot where he get with the first lady? Or na something else they behind that? Okay. Like I be tell we, na the headline just now. For say we wake this morning, now we see termination letter. Make I read you waiting the termination letter say. The address to Mr. Gavin Cole. Okay? Oh, left the address here now. Because if you see, you're going to say the address there anyway. Dear Mr. Cole, termination of employment. This is Union Trust Bank Limited, and the right to an employee. It say management don't review your response to the query issued to you on 9th February 2021. You're going to say something be don't happen before this letter come. Because they say management don't review your response. Meaning to say, if you don't talk first or them you don't write and first, then if you don't respond to them. To the query where they issue to you on the 9th of February 2021 regarding your political post on social media. Okay? Your political post on social media. And therefore, what the management they do? Say management they consider your explanation as unsatisfactory and unacceptable. Then query the young man. The young man back reply, explain what happened. But remember, management take him from Usai a political angle. Now so management say. Alright? Then say, under these particular circumstances, we advise that your employment with the Union Trust Bank Limited is terminated with immediate effect. And so management tell them, say, we query you, you explain to we what happened, but your explanation to we not been satisfactory. And because your explanation not satisfactory, with immediate effect, you are no longer an employee na the Union Trust Bank Limited na the country. And this one, management say, na based on the Article 24 of the bank's terms and conditions of service. The first paragraph, then tell we say, political post on social media. I hope you pay attention. Okay? The second paragraph, the bank say, then they sack him with immediate effect in accordance with Article 24 of the bank's terms and conditions of service. The banking terms and condition of service, Article 24. We will carry it with Article 24C. All right? In order for facilitate this kind of quick process, the bank go pay you 1 month salary in lieu of notice plus end of service benefit detailed on the attached as full and final settlement. They not tell you. How they send on the letter, they attach the in 1 month salary before am, then in benefit everything, 110 paddy, game over. Good do. Wetin do? The bank say because you post political post on social media. All right. You are requested for make you forward to the Human Resources Department all bank property them where you get na your possession, including the bank ID card. Kindly acknowledge the receipt. Tell we say yes, you don't receive this letter. By way manner where you go sign them and return them to the Director of Human Resources and attach the copy there. We wish you well in your future endeavors. Then they wish them well in your future endeavors. Yours sincerely, signed, J. Sanfa Koma, Doctor, when I am the Chief Executive Officer, and a copy, the Executive Director, the Director Banking Operation, Assistant Director Finance, Assistant Director of ICT, Manager Internal Audit, and Assistant Manager Human Resource Center. Okay? So, when this happen, now the post where people in field say get the bank worried surface. And waiting na this post. The first side we will see now between the young man, Gavin Cole, and the First Lady of Sierra Leone, Fatima Jabi Madabio. Mr. Gavin Cole, they say, no, we just want to make them investigate on the publication. That are the publication we based off the Africanist press. If it's true or not, but if not true, then the First Lady need to explain why money then began to run without the approval of Parliament. Then the First Lady come back for can answer the young man. He say, Gavin Cole, he tag him by name. And no need that Funday for fly. I've been flying way before now. So you can't see me post and you no get involved. If you watch na Facebook now, you go see them before you. That if you're able to read them. He say you can't see me post and you no get involved. How you connect pa me post? Now the First Lady, now they ask Gavin Cole how he connect pa him post. Well, Gavin Cole, look, now I reward. So the First Lady say, you dey fend cost this morning, eh? Now waiting the First Lady asks Gavin Cole. He say if Gavin Cole dey fend cost this morning, keep it up, my dear brother. We are moving as we continue to fly. Mr. Gavin Cole back replies say, no one will stop your flying. But that flying there, you need for do am with conformity to the law we will get na the country. You still get questions the way you know answer it concerning the illegal transfer of funds from the consolidated fund to your account. And that account there are the account of the office of the First Lady. Mr. Gavin Cole himself say, we fly. All right. So now this time video on social media, people then begin for ask say, wait to this kind of a post for make this young man lost his job, where Union Trust Bank talk about Article 24. Article 24, it just explain about the right of termination. Yeah? Nothing contained in these conditions shall prevent either party to the contract of employment from terminating the same by giving 1 month notice. Okay? By giving waiting 1 month notice. But by the letter, Usai Union Trust fire, he say with waiting with immediate effect. But with immediate effect, then still quote Article 24. We say nothing no go contain, we go prevent either party for terminate the contract by giving 1 month notice, or in the case of management or sub-management sector, 3 months notice to the other party, or paying 1 month basic salary. So either you give the waiting, the 1 month notice, or then go pay you 1 month basic salary. And in the case of management staff, a 3 month basic salary in lieu of such notice. So in that notice day, I made them tell and say, then go get 1 month based on waiting Article 24. The B part get on termination, subsection, the bank shall pay end of service, all thing, then they back, then don't tell and say then they pay them in end of service immediately. Yeah? Okay. So, that one day carry on. We see Article 24. We see Usai, the first lady, they want the young man, say if he defend cost this morning. And we not suicide the young man cost the first lady. We not suicide the young man, but Union Trust Bank say on this one, na political post them, the young man do na social media. So because of them political post and there, now he make then terminating service. Well, the young man self be one for explain. Since all man gets your explanation, waiting happy, waiting happen. He say make him explain for we how this thing transpire. Now the bank. Not so the social media will be called and they now bamba would they see him. The one at the bank who say we not been there. He said, following me sacking by the CEO of UTB this morning, he don't see beaucoup views on social media on the issue. And to his surprise, some people even they justify in sacking by way man away they say in exchange with the first lady now being political and it violate the bank in policy. In the light of such misconception, he find it necessary for make the following clarification. So where they say yes, the bank get policy, the bank get right for fire. So in one for make we understand what's happen. He say firstly, in one for make and clear. Say he no do anything we go against, we contravene the bank in policy or any code of ethics by in social media engagement with the first lady. He said the exchange with the first lady, he no curse am or he no disrespect am. And it not even take place on the first in Facebook page. He say he engage him on an issue of accountability where in feel say because in they pay tax na the country where in a citizen of. In believe say in entitled for do that. None of a message them not get anything for do with politics or campaigning or political party, etc., etc. It's very sad. Say na only inside salon where people they view something we get for do with accountability, then they link them say na politics. It say just because it gets for do with a public figure today, then they say na politics, na politics. It say in the challenge anyone for make them sure the bank policy way in violates, as quoted in Article 24 of the staff handbook, for 1 month notice. Inti adori da na just no, Yusuf Doyeri. He say he extremely distressed that after diligently serving the bank, then at the Union Trust Bank for 6 years, the CEO of the bank treats him like in a dirty, and it terminating service without even affording in the dignity or the opportunity for be heard. But remember, the terminator letter say, he explain by that letter day. Then tell and say the explanation in a all water. So this encounter now we get with the CEO, he feel to say he go able for talk with him. But he say no, they not get a chance or the dignity or the opportunity for make the waiting in get for say. He say but waiting are the most shocking thing. Now the fact say the CEO he call him na in office this morning and I saw the thing happen. The MD say now you they argue with the first lady and the first thing we come out to the MD. Say wait ba you forget us. Now you they argue with the first lady. He said now he answer say please make her explain sir. And the MD say no need for that. No need. I don't see say me and you no they see one side pan political views. So you not go continue for work for me. This now wetin Gavin Cole say. Go to me talker. This now wetin he say happen between him and the MD. Because the other one they were happen with him and the first lady down the ocean. This one now will not be daddy. So he say making explain himself. Say make her explain sir. Sir say no need. I don't see say me and you will not they see one side and political views. So you not go continue for work for me. You can left me office now. You can waiting, you can left me office now. He say the MD he don't do his own. But this one he believe say not to the end of your life. He say say in a qualified young man and he get in life ahead of him. He say he say one, he no go eat grass. He say say he take the decision for use him as scapegoat for his political interest. He say he get his political views, but he not they make he interfere with in work ethics. He say he also get the right for freely expressing himself on a national issues bordering on accountability, transparency, and good governance. And also that are very different from politics. He say right now, who saying this so? He feel victimized. But as a young man, yeah, he no get all waiting he go take for fetam na court. That for fet Union Trust Bank na court. He no say he no get am. But in the afraid God. In the left in case to God. Let God be the judge between him and the bank. He said thank you to all you and who don't show solidarity to him at this point in time. And in they appreciate we all. For them when the way things say this happened to him and things say okay, he left them to their own conscience and to God. This now waiting, the Sousa will not be in day, the Sousa will not see. But based on waiting, the young man intel we. Now we see so. Now we hear so. Now we explain na so. After you don't listen that side, after you don't hear, we see couple of press releases they don't come out, and we see another one from Chadi, Campaign for Human Rights Development International. So we just want to bring Abdul M. Fatima quick. Make we just give him a moment. Make he just explain to we why the press release from Chadi. Yes, Abdul M. Fatima, welcome again to Sierra Network.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. And good evening from your end.
Yes, sir. We see Chadi write a press release concerning the firing of Gavin Cole from the Union Trust Bank. Why the press release, sir?
Well, we deeply concerned and worried about in unfair and wrongful termination. We believe that because in employment, you get a constructive way of terminating people. And after we get to Mr. Cole explaining your side of the story, and we ask him the things that we necessary for construct a dismissal or termination, we're not able to forget them from her. One is if we be get a hearing and if we be allow for let a lawyer go with her or anybody where he trusts or the bank union member for escort them. So actually the story starts from Tuesday when they query him. And when they query on Tuesday, then call them up on Thursday, then tell and say, Wednesday, then tell and say, a response on the query not look satisfactory because them believe say in expression social media an exchange with the first lady political something and where they against the bank. And further to that, today this morning the MD column he asks and say now you gonna get a war with the first lady. In Ian word he say not a war I been get with the first lady. I been get an exchange with the first lady way pertaining national interest and me as a taxpayer. So, I be get concerns the way I need clarification. So then he said, okay, well, and Tapate, no talk furthermore. It look like me and you two not get the same political view, so with that, go work from the company again. That was the genesis and the revelation of a young career at that bank at the moment. because we view and say um, the process not be constructive at all, not be get any fair trial. Then the bank itself violate in your policy. The bank violates the Sierra Leone employment law, even though it old. But the fact remain that businesses in this country and government institutions and volunteer sector organizations like NGOs, they exploit the poor labor law in this country. You see this country that anybody they develop in your code of conduct, we suit in your own taste, not a way suit the country employment policies. So everybody just take upon himself. When you terminate somebody, it constitutes 5 things. One of the clear things is public order, dishonesty, and you look into misconduct, and some of them things they go for fall under gross misconduct. So some gross misconduct they is subject directly to termination of your service without even benefit. But in this case, the bank not agree for go through any of them procedure. They're able for show clear evidence. Say indeed this young man violates the bank and policy, or the ethics. Other countries and other institutions then get policy on the workers as to how and when they use social media. And if they use social media, you will always make a disclaimer, say, the words the way they say they now you don't views them. And you not get any link to the institution where you work for. Either in a hospital, either in a bank, either in a media house, even you're not a reporter for a news agent. But always your Twitter handler or your Facebook page and so on and so forth. It only belongs to UMV, a limit to UMV. If your statement or your position, they disturb the customers or the membership, it will create a problem between you and the workplace. But I mean, it not go subject to summary dismissal. We don't see how a lot of workplace don't terminate the workers for posting, comment on Facebook, Twitter, or even some images. I mean, that don't happen in the United Kingdom, that don't happen in the United States, but you get institutions where and individuals that will challenge their institutions and some cases the one they will then terminate, they win the case based on the lawyer way they even forget for represent them. So we come out for condemn the unfair and wrongful termination of this young man in service. Now, Union Trust Bank, very sad, unfortunate. Now, one of the good bank the way they really work with policy when for manage finance. But it's sad that human rights violation may look there within the culture. This fall clearly under that. And for we organization, we see as an unacceptable behavior and they not get any place in any decent democracy. So we ask them for choose one of the rightful way, when for respect human rights and the rule of law, and ensure that they reinstate this young man back, But other than doing that, then it clearly shows that the bank choose the culture of, human rights violation.
Before I let you for go, sir, what I want for get from Chadi in your point. Is it not the way we then fire them? Now in Chadi they try for stand for, or because a lot of people they say every institution gets the code of ethics. So if this young man don't fill out the code of ethics of Union Trust Bank, then get the right for firearm. How that one day happen, if not political or not so political, well, that is yet to be debated. But on this part now, how then firearm una they stand against or una feel say even the grounds of code of ethics, substantial at this point.
Like the bank not give out any valid reason why they terminate the service of this young man. And the process will then use is very much unfair. So you see unfairness, you see wrongful, you see unlawful behavior from the bank. So lack of that constructive procedure. A bank is a corporate institution. So therefore respect the corporate, image or the corporate code or the very code of conduct. But if then they're in violations of their rules, internal rules, and also the national rule and other international rule under the International Labor Law Organization, that clearly shows that this bank no respect laws, that this bank, no respect human rights, this bank no respect human being. And we expect say every institution for respect the rights of people and respect their dignity. So that on constructive way where the bank behave towards this young man, that's a huge concern because that human rights concern that make you see where organization come in. And we clearly state say, freedom of expression. Now one valuable thing we get respectful because every human being entitled to that. Now universal thing. And more or less we also tell people say you get freedom of expression, but it comes with responsibility. So if the bank believes that this young man behaved irresponsibly, then we don't show we in irresponsible actions. But even the provision we then rely on, and that na their own provision, we not match with the state policy or the state law. It clearly not even favor the bank in action because they talk about different things and the bank they refer to different thing where the young man do to thing we not relate to within the inside the provision. So now a deceitful move down there, very deceitful. Now they even don't behave not dishonestly and very unfairly, to the young man. The reason why our organization came in very much concerned about this issue. I mean, this is a country where we enjoy practicing bad precedent. We don't like for copy good thing. We like for copy bad things. Mind you, this is not the first time this where challenge banking institution on human rights violation, human rights abuses in this country, and also corruption scandal. So it's sad that the thing where they drag the young man for a business, even the mellow in politics as well. But then it's not that much surprising the country where we did. I mean, based on we own observation, if you did in business, you not declare for political party, your business they run down.
On another note, before we let you for go, Abubakar Kamara, we are one of we members then family part of Share Network. We see how you be don't help champion from the team where I be go this case now table to you. And one for say on behalf of Share Network, we say thanks very much. But how far? Waiting at the next step with Abubakar Kamara in issue, sir?
Yeah, thank you so much where you bring this up. We also will say thanks to you because you're using this platform for help Sierra Leoneans. And through you, we'll be able to get Mr. Abubakar in case we be get with one Nigerian man Unfortunately for Mr. Kamara, the AIG for crime services not been there in favor of Abubakar, it been there more in favor of the Nigerian man. And they gave a book several appointments with we for now verify the properties. It keep prolonging it until we continue putting pressure na every path. If we get opportunity for them on the air, either AYV or this platform, we continue expressing Mr. Abubakar in case that then go seizing property them we worth up to 55,000 pounds. I've been there, na police and plenty. The police then they use and back, even though they take the thing and say na exhibit, but then continue for use them property then they. And at the end of the day, when they hand over the mine property, they after the property then spend na police custody for 1 year, 4 months, almost 1 year, 5 months. End up for see some of your properties, end up forget some any good working condition any longer. But I mean, the man be so much delighted that they therefore be forced under this COVID for travel from United Kingdom for cancer loan, for can ensure say get in property them. We work with them, able for getting property them. Family members and they cry that very day because how they humiliate them that the host when they want to talk and say let them shut up, then go lock them up. Instead, I'll cry. It be emotional on that day, and now we they work with them for see how best we they put the document in place for ask the opinion of the court for claim a damage, for property them, and also the Nigerian man for making false allegations against them. So we currently they do the necessary work them for ensure that say we take further action against the Australian police and the very Nigerian man we wrongfully accuse and say, he get thief property, then I also we be police they not investigate properly. They run go and dismantle the man in the entire house. And even if we get over 200 and something shirts, close them, different mix one. And after the 200 and something, only 98 close able for say, he left the police custody, all disappear. I mean, several things, and I'm not just the little one them. But I mean, that just show how things in the work in this country. Currently, we don't work over 250 something employment cases in this country where they wrongfully determined people them then go even challenge say they no go give them the terminal benefit. But we continue working with them people then they and give them assurance that we will fight for let them go get justice and a huge number don't get justice, very huge, and very few in our court, and very few we do on the way back for, get to court for ensure say, I mean, we get justice for them.
Okay, thank you for the update. I think we'll get for fair one Tim because the year starts, make we can get update from Chadi. But what thing will be your final word on this Gavin Coleon issue before we left you for Gosa?
Very unfortunate because what we don't see now, the visibility of the hate and divide in political view. I mean, it's so much visible now everywhere, and it's a chilly effect because it's come as an alarming now to so many people gonna go now into their shells that the commercial, if this left unchecked, the commercial banks, and other companies where they in favor of government, where and the romance with government. If you cough against the government, that's the end of you and your family. If you get family where you work, or that's the end of you, your job. And this country, job at forget. The economy is so tight, and the country is so small. So even the one that we get political opportunity, since we they not lost job, so my up to now not get job. Now the 3 years is no work, nothing. You can't join student the way don't complete university. Some man doing first degree, not get job. Go do second degree, not get job. And still sit down the wait for job nothing. So these not the things that we're good for we country. We forget people, we for express their mind freely if they go beyond the border. The first lady, a citizen of this country, it can take a private lawsuit as a private citizen if he thinks anybody violates in your right as a person, because instead of motor man, you get right. But for make we go see an institution, the pool close the fete for public authorities and public officials. It's not a satisfactory thing. It's not encouraging in any democratic society. I don't think say appropriate. If the bank really is serious about the ethics of the staff there, how them for behave themselves on social media, let them develop a social media policy, guide as to how they staff them for the use, social media. But other than that, they just rely on, other provision. We no link with the attitude and behavior of the staff there, that social media. I don't think saying any encouraging thing that work in place. Mind you, not only Mr. Cole one grain the work day. We get several Sierra Leoneans that way the work day. And actually could be good for let them use Mr. Cole in precedent on any other Sierra Leonean, because that a wrongful, unlawful, and deceitful step the bank take against Mr. Cole.
Thank you very much for your time, Abdul M. Fatoma. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Well, that's now Abdul M. Fatoma from Chadi. We do a Chadian position on this particular Gavin Cole and Union Trust Bank their own issue. Make we come with Usman Toli. Make we hear waiting and get for we today. Yes, Usman Toli, you get the platform, sir.
Okay. First, I just want to thank Abdul Fatoma, one of the human rights activists in a salon we can always pleased for listening to. And whenever you bring on at this forum, we always like for the listening to them. And the way how they put information, we always understand and believe, say, now the honest truth, it can put at this forum. Triple A, this now a clear example. Gavin Cole, a issue now a clear example. We should say every sector, every activity in that country today, they non-politicize them. Clear example. Yesterday we talked about university lecturers them. Today we talk about the bank. We see an innocent young man, then sack him, then dismiss him for no good reason. Now, let's just look at the contracts where in Article 24, where they refer to, where they say, now that make, now the conditions that we then sack him for. Clearly, we all don't look at the exchanges that will take place between Gavin Cole and the First Lady. where na issue where everybody they talk about na the country, where nothing we get for do with transparency, accountability, and corruption. Everybody they talk about that now. So for can see this young man and can't sack him for that, I think it's unfortunate and it's uncalled for. But we go back to a dysfunctional society in the sense that even some of the contract them, the way out and they write them, then they try for protect the employers them at the expense of the employee. This is how we get a properly functioning system. Some of them contract here, the need for review them. Let's look at some of the exhibits them where you showcase. When you listen to the contract, we're in Article 24, it says subject to clause 20 below, summary dismissal may be effected by the bank without notice at any time in the event of an employee committing an act which, in the opinion of the bank, take note of opinion of the bank, is a serious misconduct or any serious breach or non-observance of the bank's terms and conditions of service. So if the bank thinks you don't misbehave or you don't breach then terms and conditions, then can terminate you. Perhaps we'll argue, say, the bank used this as a leg for stand up, for sack Gavin Cole. Then look at and see, from your own opinion, then look at and see what Gavin Cole do and all right. So the contract itself, we're in the right now for protect most of the time the employer, so that the employee no go get better legs for stand on. And again, when we look at the exhibit when at the termination of employment contracts, when at the letter itself, we then terminate the young man. Clearly, it shows saying that because of that exchanges with the first lady, that he make the sacker. Yeah? He states, yeah, he said the political post on social media. He did it, that line he did it. Political post on social media. Yeah? Naimide Saka. And this same letter is signed by the CEO, when Dr. J. Sanfa Koroma, another doctor. We would expect much from them. Yeah, we don't talk about, yesterday we see a lot of doctors that were involved in the Sierra Leone political party, People's Party, Union of Lecturers, where most of them are doctors, where they ought to know better. We talked about that yesterday, Naya, where at the end they apologize and dissolve the union. This is again the CEO, a doctor, who would expect much from them. They make a clear say because they don't see one side. So that don't tell you say the whole situation is politically motivated. This is not clear evidence with the sort of exhibit where you don't present the AAA. Then let me take you to some of the concerns and the implications. The country, everything is politicized. Everything is politicized. Now this we talk day in and day out. Now this forum say politics don't divide we. Can you believe now a financial institution where for be credible, where they forget confidence, for people they forget confidence in the financial system? Because now one of the strong institutions in that country today, where they play an important role for go terminate an employee based on their own discretion, because we don't see clearly now when you look at the exchanges that will take place between the young man, Gavin Cole, and that of the First Lady, it's not anything where somebody for worrying much about, because a subject where everybody know about. Everybody they talk about that. Everybody they talk about that. You go on social media, you go on TV, salon TV, the main media, they all only talk about that. So why this young man? Why? Why this CEO for this particular bank will sign this letter? Why? Conscience for tell and say this is not a topic where they on the floor and they talk about on a regular basis. It's not like a personal attack. I think where they are the media constantly, the mainstream media, not only social media, forget about the social media, even the mainstream media, what they say on there. Why for young man, just for no reason, you attack him? Yeah. One thing I therefore congratulate Abdul Fatima and the Citizens Advocacy Network when Thomas More Conte, I think in the CEO for that, for standing with this man. Because this is not an extremely difficult and excruciating circumstance for the young man at this difficult time for losing job. So you need people like Abdul Fatima, you need people like, Naya, Thomas More Conte. Naya, you need people in way actually when NGO, CSOs, when civil society organizations, and for sure say, they know what they do and that they know their responsibility. You therefore show say, your responsibility, your functions then. You therefore protect human rights. Because this is a complete violation, like what Abdul Fatima said. This is a complete violation of human rights. And now we need for sure we support, we stand with this young man. Well, recently, before I left Funam, we don't say the name of the First Lady. They don't play in the media. What thing they go on, Mr. President? What thing they go on? Or say you will control your wife? Yeah, are they foul? So we will hold me. I will talk anything you want for talk. So the question is, your wife, in name don't play too much on the social media. You need to say something. You need to stand up. Or arguably, people and other people and they argue. Because remember where the president himself became now the UK now, he make during in political campaign, he make one statement. I still remember that. He said, make him quiet. I know they expect the supporters them to be quiet. I know they expect the people away they need to be quiet. Maybe, they make their wife quiet. Because then the leader say the face of the First Lady, then they use them for campaign. Arguably, I saw other people in this talk. You remember constituency 110? I mean, they are ahead of that campaign. Because in Sierra Leone, controversial figure them. Yeah, controversial figure them. Now they never respect. Maybe I make it a misbehave so. Yeah? Others, others, that's other people and they argue. But when you look at them from another lens, yeah, I think it's becoming too much. It's becoming too much. I think, Mr. President, you need to stand up and make, say that you're not the man. So I will stop here. I'll give a chance to other panelists then. Thank you very much, Tripoli. Thanks to everybody.
Thank you very much, Usman Toli.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Make we come with Doctor. Make we hear what you get for we today. Yes, Dr. Isatuka Kejalo, you get the platform.
Yes, hi, good evening, everyone, and I hope everybody do well. Thanks to we guest, Mr. Abdul M. Fatoma, and also for really taking this case on board from the start at this point. And we want for tell thank you and the other human rights, advocacy group them we really don't see say this not something with them for come and stand along with the young man we don't losing job because of a social media posting. And thanks to Usman Toli for your also for your analysis and to you as well. So waiting at a try for hit now. So for start with waiting now some of the labor and relations, rules them na the company for this Union Trust Bank, them being feel say it necessary for let them just do that immediate termination to the effect as if this young man, from me own view, does it look like na money na it thief or it caused some form of havoc na the bank will require that immediate termination without even going through the legal processes them. We all know say where you get a job, there's processes where you go through, not just the interview, not just the appointment letter. There's different things and where you go through. And also you get a time for probation where usually in many cases now 1 year. This person done did it for about 6 years, and then you don't feel safe. You forgo through maybe first. Since we don't hear say you don't do this, you don't go against the code of ethics or the policies then will put in place, because everybody they go through orientation. I believe that before you start your job, so if you don't go through orientation, these are some documents then will be done, do an overview of or provide you with say, for violate any of them rules or code of conduct they are. So look for them signatures them from the young man for no say yes, it be indeed signed them documents they are say, what, go violate any of the policies them, and then take this to the labor and relations where we say in there, I don't know how it is for banks, but for hospitals in there, you're dealing with lawyers. You're not only dealing with your union representative or yourself or your immediate supervisor, you're dealing with lawyers that would defend the hospital, defend, even you, the employee, because that equal employment opportunity they get different clause them way then get for falla, because as an organization they just hire and terminate somebody just because you feel say now you company, then you fire them anytime where you want. You get for really go through procedures them. And then in this light, right now we think I feel say this young man they go through now a form of retaliation now, so because he speak up or he says something as a citizen, where any citizen is entitled to advocate where you see say something they go wrong, and he clearly states say me self they pay tax na this country, and in a working class person where it be say I'm sure at the end of in the pay time then therefore take taxes from her, or they pay tax at the end of the year. So they're not looking into all these different things. So there's a lot of question, and I want to agree say some of the things that they need for put out there. If you feel say you terminate this young man fairly and justly for say you not do no wrongdoing, you not do in a political lens. For me, I think that then don't act in a political way, because why? The person where he gets an encounter with now somebody where they into politics. So that means when I try for take side here, when I not even get for hearing the young man in your side of the story, or go through the different chain of command, where they deal with termination. They fail to do that. I think that is wrong. That is wrong. That should not happen. And I think that's why now we country, we actually need many employers them for allow employees them forget union na the organization, because the union they for protect you. And sometimes I know people don't want to pay union dues, but these are the times you need your union representative to fight for you. And no one is against people violating companies rules and regulations, code of conduct. We self with the work now hospital, we get certain things and way we know to do. And if people that know me know I'm not I don't even want to go in there because I don't even have a Facebook account, but I will definitely listen or talk, on somebody else's platform. But I don't post certain things because we all know in the health field, you might find it very difficult depending on what you post on social media. And no hospital or organization, they against social media. There's good ones, there's bad ones. Even we all hospital get a Facebook account, then get a Twitter, then get different social media platforms, and schools then get. No one is against it, but I think there are ways and there are things that you should not be posting on social media. For example, this young man in the work na a bank, there is enough for posts anything we get for put another client in information out there, then canteen and they enough for do. And I not feel saying that it do here. I not feel say it's steal money from anybody. So for that reason, they really not go about this the right way. And people that work in the hospital knows that they don't discuss patient issues in the public, or even to talk about social media. People lose their job with immediate effect for things like that because you're dealing with HIPAA, you're dealing with confidentiality. But in this particular case, I did not see that. I think then just kind of prevent Mr. Cole from speaking as a Sierra Leonean, for voicing, what I be in concern. And if we first lady, we first lady for the go this teeth and tongue with people that are social media. For me, this now one big disgrace again. What is going on? Can somebody please talk to our First Lady, Fatima Jabi Madabio? It is about time you get somebody to talk to you, someone that you will listen to. You're not going to argue with people them, even people that will not get, not even now you learn. They constantly, they go back and forth. You want your recourse? Us First Lady in the right mind, go to do that kind of thing there. Really, something is wrong somewhere. We really feel so we president need for calling West and try for put on, indoors for some time right now. Because all that kind chaos, all that kind back and forth, you there first already, you get for deal with accountability issues about the way how you they spend money, we can't, the office of the First Lady. They deal done with that, then you don't go take them to other person. Answer that to the ACC first. When you don't done with them, then you can come at the public. But as it is right now, what you are doing, you're really not doing. No women will be proud of this, because I am not. I'm not proud of this type of leadership or this type of, feminism that where you feel say it do constantly get something for talk back. God help me. I hope say he listen, and I hope say he stop for doing thing they do right now. And with the hope say this young man get reinstated. Because waiting we they see right now, this enough fear to ram, and I'm sure many people will now be afraid to speak because they know say if they talk about anybody where be say then at this political field, then go lose their job. And then within the COVID-19 pandemic, where many people barely they woke, and then we talk about building the economy. It is sad and it's really disappointing to find out, not to anybody, because of anybody. Would I want for accept this or not? Please accept this. This young man lose his job because of the First Lady. And we don't know who that he call or which strings that he try for pull now. And there's nothing wrong in anybody telling or asking questions that he asks. I think we all need for ask. And if you not disrespect me and you don't decide say you're not social media queen, then you're going to get a lot of people that's going to respond back to you. So that should not make you feel bad. You should have a thick skin for once. Unfortunately, she doesn't. We get another Donald Trump, na Sierra Leone. And we really hope say it change for the next 2 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yes.
Yeah. Make we come with Usfriend, make we hear waiting it get for we. Yes, Usfriend, you get a platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple, for giving me the platform. And we thank we guest speaker, Mr. Abdul Fatoma. Thank him very much for he will give me how the area of waiting them as a civil service society they try for do and help. And the background of waiting is he say the guy they try for argue about and able for explain to we who side the faults day and wouldn't we try for amend. All right. So it's quite actually a problem, Nasalo, now looking at this young man immediate sack and losing job. But it is say the world what would they now a world would the a global world. And the main issue we the disturb now how we brain it they become informed with the digital world what they inside now. That's now one part of that one day. Then the other issue was this again, they go on right now in salon based on like what we talked yesterday. Now this area where it's worrying, a kind of a burdensome, where you they get excessive and complicated administrative policy them and procedure they wouldn't can bring. Then they look a bit, then they become compressed. You go the question, say these are like a thing where you don't get a multi-layer system where you get a command from one side. So that one day is questionable, the second bit, where now the bureaucracy section. So now when I kind of burden some bureaucracy now in the disturb salon in many institutions. So in other words, you find out that sometimes you question, is it a burden coming from the authority where they transmit current and the current way they transmit to the people this now one way they go command for say this is what you have to do. So those are the areas where you go question. So but when you take the subject matter of the man what will happen, you look at waiting, then they try to see now then you value and belief who they get. But when you look at the area now where the law talk, you're not able to see any side where you actually align. Then they try to explain no more say this now in then they do where then they sack you and they pay you this or then they sack you if this. But you not explain in detail. So you go question say if they been get actual code of ethics would have been put in place for another was for professional misconduct, then get them. Because when you look at the banking system, they get a broad code of conduct. And some of them, if I go not name, they talk about financial crime. Somebody involved in a financial crime, or they involved in money laundering, that might be a case so them will bring for you. Or you involved in terrorism financing, because you they open a bank, that is a problem for you. Or you get economic sanctions the way you they put in the regulates, will not work. Because when the banks then they work, I feel say they get what's not the bank regulator. And of course, then they license them. And when they license them with central bank, not the government bank. So then they get back the national bank regulators. But they ask, are these ethics, they be put them down? Like what the doctor, they say, do orientation, they give you these things. You will question those kind of things. Because for like you will earn trust for your clients or with the regulators and way the regulator now that thing that you get for put before for say yes, the customer in standard how they work with or how they do this. But this is nothing to do with that. There's nothing to do with economic sanction or terrorism or the man boycott a rule when they put for say, we all can't do something where they change something for the bank or then bribe them for corruption or anything when a fraud. There are quite a lot of things that really go look say that let's say this man before don't do, what we were able to say this man he don't involve in something where he actually gross. But here now an area where because of social media, it involve people and most of the time the research where even people in the research, which is very, very serious when they go on now Now, how the brain information is able for use them, because then they find out, say, it disturb that digital world play are involving. It is disturbing your mental state of cognition. The eye they able to understand something. When I see mango, I go pick them up. I try to identify and see a guinea mango or a roprop or a this mango. All I try for see because they don't put it on social media, but I'm not able to go further. Just don't see that mango. So I just talk about mango. Maybe the subject matter the person they take is different. So if they see the social media, if they take them from that angle there, it disturb your brain. It cause serious psychiatric problem when plenty people know they observe. You know, go be say you go on the street, you go misbehave, or you put clothes, or you begin to do this. These are psychiatric implications the way they affect you gradually, and then you see your repetition can lose sometimes because of that. When they see some figureheads them where they don't lose position or they don't get problem. Some of them are being impeached, but only because people they look say, oh, now law will they argue this. So this is the problem now with the happen as the way government gets for look into as then they try to identify cyber and other things. They wouldn't go they try for this. This is the area we therefore try stand firm for teach the usefulness of this and the effect of no go just for say no you go and bug you, no study, it will distract you this or you will do this. Let them go to the detailed part of it for know the mental state, or else someone will forget to state where because of all those things, the usefulness of the information they go, and then the messages are passing very fast, which is very good as compared to this. The people and they are aware of what they do, but how people are disseminating this and whose platform and whose message will they put on social media for effect. But now with the question now, before we go for see the question now they hear, but see now. Okay, the bank man, one of the CEO for bank don't dismiss this man based on the things there. But you go question say, is the man in a fear for say this go cause problem for a bank because you don't get repetition for some other areas to the government? Okay, that you go say okay now one thing, or you go say they do them because he get an order of somebody maybe he related in some way to the bank where he affiliate to. Now, another directive that I get, or I just do them based on the ethics independently for saying will not allow this. Well, when you come to that illegal question now, say, are there evidence for proof say he do something where you do them for you go maintain the good name of the thing. But the other two areas we go question are the one area for say, is he doing it because he's afraid? Say them go like we say, oh, na me own picking command, I go cause that person there house there. I go friend say let person not can begin to stone me house na net. Now for that I go pull this boy I say, well, not to where they give again, no, not kind of this house here. So that might be one scenario, but the other scenario will say, is it coming to this burdensome bureaucracy wherein it is actually worrying, wherein they get excessive people and they give excessive things, the way they pile one side, and from there, then they pass the law for say, we get power now, we get power under, we get power under. When the way do that, you go do. You are questioning just these things because the evidence, until they wait for CR5. But based on the evidence we get, these are the areas you know where you go question. So I believe say the government, the bank, they got their duty for do. These are less if they never had code of conduct, let them try to have them and hand them to people. But when you look at the man, they come from an angle, say they do them based on for help the taxpayer. Just like let's say Donald Trump. Now in law, then they argue say the man was making a figurative speech. But because of what they call the First Amendment, is a give right of speech. The man gets speech, a law of speech for let it talk. But because of he gets a figurative speech where he use, mean and then they argue on. Despite there is something wrong going on there. But those are not the scenario we want in this place. We want to develop a world. The idea what they try for scenario, let them try to put those things who will suit to the people and young work, you command them, then they should say, and so if you do, you know, for involve in this, not for involve in this. But again, you know for go on social media for do this. But when you look at the matter, the substance with on social media is very, very, it not look relate to anything with political, but you go suspect, say, oh, in demand they go draw problem for we. So those are the areas somebody will question where the government get to look into this social media, how they will able to help people and how they will understand for use them. And then the bank then on duty. Now the duty now for say, well, let me review some of this code of conduct. If we have them in an article, well, not make people know. Not explain in detail. Let not be like the constitution, we put in the canon more, everybody they interpret a new way. Let things got to be in a different world. Now it will help development in any country, especially for salon. Because the other third world country, then we don't make the foundation. So when anything shakes it, then we still adjust them. So when they compare with them, but they should say almost some of these things are happening there. But this is how we're gonna do them. And there is a way if only they find out. But for the poor man who don't suffer, I feel sorry for him. But all the hopes they will put courage and Mr. Fatoma then go able to help the poor man so they go able to see how things and go able to work amicably. But that is not a fair treatment as far as everybody goes here. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. Let God continue for bless you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, us friend.
You're most welcome, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, caller, you the live on here. Your name and who the call from, please.
This number would take call from UK.
Yes, Mahmoud, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Triple A, for giving me the platform. I just want to make my own submission quick. I can always talk and politics don't divide salon. This politics, if we don't begin think how we for deviate to send from this politics, I get for lead we country tomorrow. We picking them back and follow the same system as salon as so no more we get for the just a post where the man post, at a give a view and a taxpayer. Well, at the end of the month, when they pay and then they deduct tax by a money, he get right for acting first lady. But with the allegation where they go against the first lady for let it clarify something. I don't think saying about the guy though. But everybody know. We know they try the Sanfa Koma where he get Union Trust Bank. 2017, 2018. Passiway no know. He name me they play for be a one he made for SLPP. So that they not to any other thing. Where you see the man they talk and now see in who side the man the he and the man they know they see eye to eye. They know they see one side in terms of politics. What in politics get for do with each job? This not the country then this whole fenu self. Now make Aki always stop. Aki always pray. Anybody we no like salo at heart. We let God let you weapon at that country. Aki always talk. Now one day no more get for little who get for sleep who grab salon. Anybody we get salo at heart. God weapon at that country. Because this not real. Which side this guy they go start again? Man not deal with it. Don't work for you for 6 good years. Now the end of service is where they get. This is bad. But if you mean the guy, I they test the water. You understand? I they take the issue to court. Okay. Even the articles where them quote when articles 24, you know, talk about anything about political interference or what the politics get for do with this my job. You know, cause the first lady he just asks her, in your opinion, the first lady they can't tell us now cost you all cost this money, or you are here cost this morning, or now cost you one from me. You as first lady, you as the mother of the nation. Look, imagine now, Liberia, the first lady they call who first lady now saying Chrisuma. Just imagine. Then they call me down, then they make now mock news Parana Nigeria all day in the laugh we. He say we first lady if people like say would Chris. If they go put allegation Parana the first lady, they get $100 how many $1 million for year. That kind lie that the way they lie. He did lie that name kind of hard for see. You know, he did disgrace we every day he did disgrace we disgrace. You don't make now salon don't talk like how Donald Trump be the rule America. Now mother be on a woman, they don't cut to the past all kind leader who don't ever get at the history of salon. They don't cut to a man. All kind way. It's sad. It's sad. Some of who can even shame ourselves for tell people and say we are Sierra Leoneans say, but we will not get way past to get what but first lady they disgrace we. Just today you go on social media, you tell our first lady, social media first lady. They turn and you say for social media citizen. And then nothing in the left man on our social media. Anything we tell her, they reply. So let them find somebody where okay, bye.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and where you call from, please.
You know me?
Yes, I get 3 minutes, sir.
Okay. I just want to quote this guy when he won election, Bill Clinton, where he say he feel the people in pain. You know, I feel the pain for the guy. Most people who don't talk, don't analyze and ask Fatima and the threats them, then they state the policy, yeah, this, that, this. But Salon different. Mr. Tolly said, don't talk. I talked yesterday. Everything in Salon and politics. You know, this guy, I feel for him. I feel for him for him and family. But he ought to know better. When you go try for get yourself involved in that kind of situation, the outcome not the way they get. Now, Salon, you know, they go try for get yourself involved. Keep quiet, do your job, feed your family. Not try for go be a hero. You know, not go sacrifice yourself. That's Salon politics right now, the way it stands. Anybody who try to sacrifice themselves, now that outcome they get, now they go suffer. You know, so anybody just look what happened with Samsumana, with the fire and what come out of it. It go ECOWAS, this, that, they rule in his favor. What come out of it, Bonfi. Salon politics is different. No? That's my submission.
Thank you very much, Ayo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and where you call from, please.
My name is Fala. I call from London, please.
Yes, Fala, you get 3 minutes, sir.
I don't listen to all the panelists and waiting and the throw light into what happen. We just appeal to everyone. Law will not jump into conclusion now because law wait. Tomorrow more will come out. Because if you look, that man is a doctor of UTB. I think say for they will take a decision like this. To me, and also other person, I think say aiming to give warning to the gentleman, I think so. Because in no way you will just wake up, you sack me today without no reason. You must give me reason, you must tell me what's happening. So my only advice to people, Lord not stress. I listen to Madam Kake. Let's just calm down. Tomorrow we'll get more. They must interview certain people there on 98.1 or other media platform. But if we don't go into conclusion now, and we don't know what's in the come tomorrow, so I go try for retract from what you don't do or what you don't say. So my knowledge, I think say that man they will own that bank there. I mean senior man at the Bank of Salon. I don't know if not the Stanford Kama or Koma or whatever.
Yeah, he was the governor at one time.
Thank you. He was the governor. So not to say in a child, and then can see away the go on. And moreover, the man a doctor. So let's give a chance. We know what's in the happen tomorrow. And according to the conversation between Fatima and this gentleman, now we don't go on for long. Now, according to the way to see the conversation, because me not will start to converse and have a conversation with Fatima the today, he altered the word say it will cost me. Now these are only people that just calm down, not wait tomorrow or day after. We don't have various bodies the way and don't see the champion, the dismissal. So we'll get more tomorrow and day after. But if we don't jump into conclusion, what about tomorrow if they don't get more from this gentleman where get this bank, where they manage this bank? So I don't want to retract from waiting and say. So what you go do, then we just go into and share. That's not the right way for going to judgment. For those wait till tomorrow or day after. Because the man get a reason why he give immediate dismissal. Because waiting apples are not fitting at that's not the reason why they will give immediate dismissal. Now, if now waiting upon the conversation where we took place where you show in a website, they're not to grounds. They get a right to go for challenge someone, but again, waiting at the policy at the bank. What about the other people that are in the work? Why they not take upon themselves the start to challenge the issues there? So we'll know tomorrow or day after or day after. But please just go into conclusion. What about if they can't get the side of the man of the UTB in your side? So people the one for we track the waiting and don't say. So please not give a chance till tomorrow or day after. We don't know. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, fella. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and side call from, please.
Yeah, thank you, sir. This is Boy Jalo Jamboria calling from Norway.
Yes, sir. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, sir. First of all, I want to make Mr. Mr. Abdul Fatoma pay attention to what they say because he is active on the ground. They talk as a professional trade unionist. And at the same time, they talk to the Minister of Labor and Industrial Relations, Mr. Alpha Usman Timbo, who was Secretary General of the Teachers Union whilst I was Vice President. Labor relations, they go in 3 ways. Now I make when they talk about tripartite relations. You get the employee, you get the employer, then you get the government as the arbitrator. I think say this issue, the government for coming, let them try arbitrate between the bank and the employee affected. But there are certain things where every country they contribute to or they sign will make them legal for make them abide by them. First of all, I think we've all left the opinion say Sierra Leone not get industrial laws. We get a law where they pass on the 15th of December 1971, where they call the Regulation of Wages and Industrial Relations Act number 18. We clearly protect every worker in Sierra Leone. Above this law, we get the Universal Declaration on Human Rights, Article 19. We protect everybody for get a right to freedom of opinion and expression. Then, we get a convention of the International Labour Organization, Convention 87. We give everybody a right to association where the Parliament of Sierra Leone don't ratify them laws here. And as long as the Parliament don't ratify them, it's binding on the government, it's binding on every employer to respect those laws. As far as this issue go, this young man not talk anything will concern a client or the banking operations. Now something when an argument or a discourse between he and somebody else. This person is a political person, and by the status of this person, she has to get out of social media. It's not a place to go there and argue with people. So I think, say, we need to get them things here right, and I want for a show and say, I dey monitor this case. I know all the international institutions wait for contact. This young man go get it right. But meanwhile, I dey appeal to the Ministry of Labor for coming and examine this case and make sure say then give this young man a right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jamboya. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and side call from, please.
I come from Maryland.
Yes, Ibrahim, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you, brother. First of all, I feel sorry for this young man because inside salon right now, forget job. If you not get it, you know easy. So if this young man can lose his job like that, he really sad. I hope say he will get justice. Then me the question where I want to ask because they see beaucoup people then they post on social media say the man left in job, he go interfere about politics. why for left in job. I want to ask question. Now working hours demand do the posting or now after job now you doing posting? I don't know. You get any idea, Tipway?
Okay, any idea?
Okay. So like what no more the other people and they say we not get for able judge right now. Me, I want to see the query letter we demand and send to her way he respond before the termination they come up. But if no more, if I know the judge you, if the exchange was the other exchange at the post of the first lady in social media platform, now in count determination enough fear. Because everybody get rights to opinion and the man disrespects the first lady. Even when the first lady say you want cause this money, the way the man he respond maturely. You not even say any word where they go say you don't disrespect authority. But once the query letter, we count determination. Then the civil society in that country, I hope say not to Abdul Fatoma no more and Thomas Mo no more. We need more civil society when they come in, when they will go into this case, Lord know the truth of this matter. So right now, Lord not able judge, we not able know what to conspire, thing again determination letter. Lord wait and see what to get for come up. But we first lady in need for stop. Not anything get for respond on social media. It's not good for we country. Let you know say power not get for last forever. Today Iman 90 day. Tomorrow Iman get for commodity. Let remember I say other people that we don't need it before Iman can day. Now certain day they're not ready again. They're not private citizens right now. So let's be careful how they use in power. Thank you very much. May God bless you and God bless Mama Salon.
All right, thank you very much, Ibrahim. Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and side call from, please.
Yeah, this is not Mike. I call from Philadelphia.
Yes, Mike. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Me, I want to advise the first lady. I want lady first lady act like an adult. You know what to me, late daddy be always they say. You say, well, you not big man or big woman. You begin play with small picking there, like say when I want to not equal, then go begin fit you. So please, first lady, act like an adult. Stop for play them games there. Now you destroy your own character and you destroy your own name and your money name. Please stop. Act like an adult. For this young man, now muzzle the young man. They muzzle him because if you look back from the letter we didn't get, if we don't get any warning, if we don't put under the letter say we don't give this young man warning 2 or 3 times before we take this action. They not put under the letter. So that means they fire him because of what he happy, the transaction or the argument or whatever discussion we get in the first lady over Facebook. Then they not fear. They fire somebody because of that. If not America, then they sue you. Or anywhere overseas, then they sue you for that. They just fire somebody because you get argument to somebody else who not get involved in a job or who not in a job. If not the job day, now they inside the job day, now they argue with the person, then we can understand. But this is something we not get nothing for do with the job itself. Fear. Salon, but wanna be careful though. Say party beginning, wouldn't they higher power, they go take advantage of una. Just like this Maya, so they don't take advantage of her, they don't fire her. So now be careful on a job there and that. And my own contribution no more.
Thank you very much, Mike. Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and side call from, please.
Yeah, this is not Patrick.
Yes, Patrick, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Well, I'm sorry for the young man, and I pray that let God get another job. As he don't say, and not get the power for faith there, you will left your own case to God. And I know say God didn't get the final say. That's all. God has the final say. We always say, a long tail you must cut. If you use in and don't pray before and don't sweat people there before, the one that will go there against the government, let God this to them, let God that. Well, and I believe say some of them pray they don't. That's why they will come to us. And they see that it destroy that person in your life because of just a person expressing himself. Now they say they're in the expressing self. Where they express himself, people they not stop her. So why other person they express himself, they bully that person there. So let them not say the whole hours, they say this, the whole the way that they dig, now they left for the inside. That's all. Because if you make other man they cry because you get power past that person there, Papa God, then I have with the watch. This world, we see some man that added their Lakinsa overseas now today. It's not because of what they not get good credit or not. Now waiting they don't do in Africa. Waiting the family they don't do in Africa. We see how they swear that they fall in this country that I only see somebody with good career, with good job, good education, but this person life not go straight. One day I sit down, I begin to tell, I say this now, then swear, what did the papa or mama they don't do, or what did the system don't do. If you not catch you today, you go catch you tomorrow. And you get picking them up. You get picking them. And that man, that powerful so where prayer where don't pray, say, you left your own case to God. We go see. We always they say the as Englishman, they say the evil that men do. Live Sunday, they follow them. You know, they live after them. They follow them. In make that young man, they find good job. You know, stand bread, you don't pull around man, they much. Well, just be careful no more. Until you don't swear, that's where they go catch up. That's all me get for tonight.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Hello, this is Mustafa, the call from France.
Yes, Mustafa, you get 3 minutes.
Thank you. You know, it's so hard trending for we Sierra Leone how they go the country, so we don't know. You know, this now presidents them way very dangerous. And what we done, we can say Sierra Leone and they support their own businesses them. But if you as a business, you don't turn it into political business, it's disgraceful. Again, for lead with to no option, they just they listen to waiting for come out of the civil society, their engagement with them. If everything go like how they go, so if not because of the post between Fatima and him, make them fire them, we have go left with no alternative for call we all relative them for let them boycott the bank. And if them boycott the bank, waiting go happen. Sierra Leoneans then go lost job and your own business back go bien. It very bad. You see? And this we first lady what we get, I don't know. But you know, every man you forget control of your home. Because me woman no go just in the media they do other things them where they bug even the governance in the country. One no go stop them or bring them home and tell and say, hey, madam, do ya left this way they do. Because they make who that we know for talk to you, they talk to you. Who that we know for even me when they talk to you so me ain't don't get confrontation boku them. But me I the tell her what I want tell them. How you first lady go there so? We don't get first lady them before now we country. We don't see how then they look let Patricia Kaba. Lord, start from even this week, former president and Escoma human. Now, very good example. But this right now, not a good example. And not good for we all. People and they provoke with it, they mock we right now as Sierra Leoneans. We're not proud of what thing they happen. So may God just help we, let God take his own decision. This young man, would pray to God, let God grant him more opportunity than what he begets. Thank you very much. Let God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mustafa.
Yeah.
Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
This is Ezekiel, the call from Oregon.
Yes, Ezekiel, get 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you so much, Triple A. I want to talk about just two things. The first one to the president. Mr. President, I want to let you know, say a lot of we will be support the idea of a change in government. You know, even some people will not be supportive, but they not be want definitely APC for win again for certain things. At this point, I think we can conclude that you're not able really for take care of things with this woman. You know. So if people are begin calling certain names, we definitely will feel happy. Like your fault, We've been so quiet on a lot of things the way they go around the country, you know. So me, I'm not to blame the woman. Now you are the blame. You are, you know, they put things right now. Let they put things there right at all, you know. So these are the just they talk to the voters there, you know. The man who vote in is not acting. A lot of things that way they happen through a woman. So when I get that in mind, next 2023, you know, because if now this person, first lady, where we want for represent we in the international community, we get for answer that question when 2023 come. Because we presidents not they make any move for help, for make any changes to win nothing. So Lord we get that in mind. And then the other one to the back, the last caller actually begin for talk. You know, social media use the same standing against Trump. You see the cool heart who don't get. Lord, we use the power of the purse when the customers and when they walk in that back. Okay, thank you. Sorry. We all the bank in that bank. And this now just a beginning, we will begin that campaign. But right now, Mr. Owner of bank owner or bank, whatever it is, no say that people and the customers and the Sierra Leoneans now they hold the bank. If you don't begin act like this, so you for no say competition day. Competition day. If you want let the customers the way that they work with you and support political agenda, you for no say you get competition. You not to the only bank within that country there. We know the campaign right now, but make some move. We will begin show we say, yes, you do this thing right. If not to that, we know the power of the pulse is very, very important. So not make let it.
No, Ezekiel, we don't lose Sam. I think Ezekiel will almost reach to the end, so I'll just call this other caller. Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and the call from, please.
Yeah, my name is Famoro Kuruma. I call from Libya.
Yes, Famoro, well, you get 3 minutes.
Yeah, triple. Well, me on concern na the like Mr. Fatoma, we don't take the challenge for Fet this Maya issue. We will say kudos to them. But like we no go on no more let it happen like waiting happen with statistics the own issue. Where like me na a victim way lead me now for make I take this temple run way like I risk my life so. Like we then try for go on with the issue till at end they end up for can resolve the like today we like we will get any information from the let this young man back you know go be like we own. And we don't know if this team back no go continue. Say where you gonna bank this no where they not saying a different party you belong to. Maybe you go for go withdraw your money, save them, go tell you say back money no they because you not belong to side them belong. We pray that that no will be continued. Just like with TMRC been the talk, say side them money and they put paper in a UI. And with the big the civil servant, the advocates is a network, then we then day na this count na Mama Salum, let they able advocate for this young man here, we don't lost in job. Because like me way I didn't also deal like 3 I know waiting it take. Waiting how best that the same issue we don't happen to this Maya, so how it affects me like deal like today. We make her take this desert, we now are they close to the Mediterranean Sea. We I take all these risks now. Like waiting happen to this young man, and the same thing happened to me. We like they like today. I don't risk my life to this peak here. So do I let them fit this my issue? Let them fit in case say to the finger pick at least let able get in right way in deserve forget. Contribution.
Thank you very much, Famoro, and as you always say, just for keep safe out there, brother. Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and the call from, please.
Yes, people. This is Momo. They call from Fago.
Yes, Momo. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Well, this is that is new direction. This would be promised week. So now, if it not belong to the president, so if voice not mean anything. As well as the new direction, this wouldn't promise we. So if it not belong some side, it means you voice nothing. But I mean the whole thing, I believe say this man will fire this man, that directive is get. Now one phone call will make him make that decision there. Because he has for that belief say on in own, because of the mind comment will make na Facebook or social media na him making just take upon himself. It will be a phone call come from somewhere. It's simple. It's easy to understand. But as all man they talk, why we first lady they act this way? If we they criticize some other people who do this on social media, they cause the in the something that cause you want. He has the first lady. So what you get for tell with down the way you do on top, if then you do the same thing. What's not justification? This is shameful. I mean, this all the most important is about the first lady in behavior. As doctors say, they say a man need for put her down. I wish it will happen. But all for don't know say that woman they all come on now house is them. Or it be say the pa na chop money in the gate. But the person will get the house. After mommy. So all on come on and then when the woman they control everything. So I believe if the president gets away the power for stop him, if we not stop him. Or either you don't discuss with them in the state, or either instead let the idea for the woman they can on social media they act like this, it has to understand. So me not beyond this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and side call from, please.
Chief Edition Alaji.
Yes, Alaji, get 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to let people know say this is not the first time then see don't happen at salon. We don't see people who get money, for no reason. You do a small thing safe, you go they go lock you up. We go to police station for give statement, then they actually then they go lock you up. I mean, it don't happen. A lot of people they not get any more for say. So would I always blame you for country? That the judiciary system was very poor in the country. You don't get right for sue anybody where you go to court, even if you don't go safe, don't go put in a jail for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Where you come, you don't get anybody who go take a case for let sue them people in the way we discharge you illegally. The judiciary system is so poor in the country. I don't know why some of them people that even get the certificate them for being a lawyer or stuff like that. I don't know what they go on. You understand? Like when this other previous caller talk, you understand? They say that guy there, now phone call he go don't get. Where himself, able to tell the person say, look, we bank no they go with this. Una private affairs there, una try and they understand it. This is bank. So long as you not involve the bank in issue there, I don't get any problem with this. We know say America yourself, even me, this outside the work. Then the one we strictly say we uniform the law no they put out on social media. If we say they protest, law we know they go there because law will not put the workplace in a jeopardy. You understand? But that's different, because here they get policies then way if they make mistake, you they sue them, you understand? Then you get plenty money, but then they happen in a salon. They ever happen. This they continue for years back. He just get worse because the judiciary is still watching. So now we put everything in this judiciary system. They let them kidnap for people when they drive now. We don't see people they beat them. They work for in their man. They that video they all belong come out. In their man they beat them. The judiciary not able to do anything. Police not able to do anything. We don't see what they say in their man go kill black man. What be they sell things? What be they hear actually? They pull the audio. What you hear? Nothing but that case there. Till and we don't go on where this judiciary system for don't turn up say, look, not fit now for the for people there. They know they do it. So this like a test. That Abubakar when thief in property, this guy with other people there, let them turn up now and say, look, enough is enough. This is a time for fight for poor people there. Thank you very much. I know I get.
Thank you very much, Alaji.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah. Yes, caller, they live on air. Your name and side call from, please.
I call from the US. Mohammed.
Yes, Mohammed, you get 3 minutes.
Okay. Thank you for calling me back. I'm a type of calling. Thank you. I'm so busy. Concerning this topic we're on today, I will have give me a take a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but like the word patriot, it's not like say when somebody try to be patriot. Why always they label you or then they try to look at you like say you're a bad person.
Like every other person don't see. Um, even though you go on for say there is more to the story. I make waiting ask Abdul Fatoma now the process. Because Abdul Fatoma, Chadi, they don't get opportunity for get direct contact and direct talk with Gavin Cole. So they don't talk with him. They don't ask him the question before they pull them press release. So now based on what he tell them. But we know say because this particular one, na kind of a backlash right now to Union Trust Bank, they're not gonna shut up. Definitely they get for talk. They get for talk. But make we hear waiting then get for bring cam. But that immediate termination, we not to suspension, not to nothing, and even now the letter, then say the query and waiting he reply, all water to them. They not say after so many warnings. Not to so they say they not tell we but warning. And tell we about query and reply. Now then two things then they. We mean say now waiting happen now. Unless if them don't get them on verbatim, just like say, hey, me man, you get for caution, okay, if not that one day. But apart from that, all waiting happens so now is based on the recent encounter with Gavin Cole and the First Lady. I don't know, but for one reason, maybe the First Lady be tired today. You know, come on social media, answer nobody, not talk nothing. They wait for peak zeal for the next step. We get for take on this one because in him don't play. Maybe you can't tell say no to him, make no call, not being called, not be talking nothing, not get nothing for do it that. Now go here from the bank back. But today now be the First Lady in social media day off. Or maybe say they go around and they give the pads them and then schools them. So if you don't work too much, you need for take off time today. Or maybe if you get visitors the way when they go there, so you not be able for even for post or for come live for explain. Because say one or two times you must explain himself first. Or maybe something it don't work. They talk again. And if they talk again, I think I get one cow in a village. And they will go for kill him for the Easter. They'll shape the beef. That's if not talk again, no. But if he be say, he come back, he begin talk, he begin answer people then. Well, he go owe me 2 cow. 2 cow now he go owe me. But he say, people like go owe you, we not to him be talk, say he need to talk again. Well, since he not talk today, since he not talk today, maybe he need to talk again. I say, if the First Lady not talk again, for Easter, would they kill cow in a village? Would I want to make you go? All would they go eat pada cow beef day? Would I want the head? Would I want the foot? Would I want the leg? Left to now. But if he come back, he can begin to he owe me 2 cow. 2 cow now they owe me. We wish Gavin all the best. There are a lot of questions around the issue. And I believe say this one now go make other employees them within a Union Trust Bank then go there on the edge. Definitely. And then go forget for talking now. So my right side, if you be say you don't see how this thing happens, so man go delete it in Facebook post, in Facebook page, say everything la left here first bar. Because they are the game day right now. The game don't become unbecoming. The game don't become unbecoming. Alright. Tomorrow we'll get with parable and story time. Don't forget on Monday we go there and they can defend the first alphabet now you name. The the first alphabet now you name, they can't defend them. Yeah? On Monday, I will go for Dunaya for raise money. For raise money, they can't defend them. See, I come to say for Tripoli for check the comment. There's a lot of comments. Is there a specific comment? Eh? Yeah. Okay. But I need help before myself left here. I look for somebody where they either na Spain or na Poland. Eh? But there, if you did Spain or Poland, you see the number then where they pass na the screen we can announce. Contact me or if even a Facebook. Please send me a message. Eh? With the big. Contact me or send me a message. There I would look for somebody. Now Spain or Poland. Need quick help. Quick help if you're here. Quick help or Tripoli need help. And I go really appreciate if you can make this happen. If you did na Spain or na Poland. Eh? Uh-huh. Okay. If you're able to do that for me, I'll appreciate. Till we meet again tomorrow. Tripoli say, Tata.